Greetings, everyone. This is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California, just trying to keep the community informed with a little added commentary along the way. In this video, we will be going over the City Council regular meeting agenda packet for the February 20th, 2024 City Council meeting. City Council regular meeting scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. You can participate via teleconference by calling 520-525-8911. The meeting will also be streamed on YouTube Live. Assistance will be provided to those requiring accommodations for disabilities. Public comments can be submitted via email at citycouncil@livingstoncity.com. Comments must be received by 2 p.m. on the day of the City Council meeting in order for them to be distributed to the Council prior to consideration of the matter. You will need to provide meeting date, item number, name, email, and comment. Please limit to 300 words or 3 minutes. Please include public comment in the subject for the email. Written comments will not be read aloud at the meeting, but will be reported as being received for the record. If you do not receive an acknowledgement of receipt by 4 p.m., please call the City Clerk's office at 209-394-8041, extension 121. Note, this technology is not a guaranteed method. After the Pledge of Allegiance moment of silence, roll call, closed session announcements, and changes to the agenda is Citizens' Comments. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the City Council on any item not on the agenda. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes per person. After Citizens' Comments is announcements and reports. The feature report of the evening will be from the Public Works Department. Here are the boards and commissions of which Jatinder Mann, Jason Roth, Maria Soto, and Gurpal Sambra are members, and the boards and commissions of which Jose Moran is a member. Next up, consent agenda. Items on the consent calendar are considered routine or non-controversial and will be enacted by one vote unless separate action is requested by a member of the public, the city manager, or city council member. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless members of the public, city council, or city manager request that a specific item be removed. On the consent calendar, we have a check warrant, 3 sets of meeting minutes, and the consideration of a resolution formalizing a sister city partnership. Under discussion and potential action items, we have a franchise agreement with Gilton Solid Waste and approving amendments to the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget, followed by council direction on future agenda items and adjournment. Moving on to staff reports. This one is about formalizing a new sister city partnership. Here's some of the background for those of you who are interested. More background and discussion. More discussion and staff recommendation. Under fiscal impact, it states travel for future visits will be included in the respective budget for council approval. Next up, franchise agreement for solid waste with Gilton. This is for solid waste, recyclable materials, and organic waste collection services. The current agreement we have with Gilton will end on March 1st, 2024. This section talks about the request for proposals that was sent out and the 3 providers who responded. This page talks about how the consultants the City of Livingston hired to assist the city as technical advisors helped evaluate the proposals and ended up saying Gilton would do the best job of getting the garbage picked up while complying with relevant state laws. Highlights of the agreement are here. Under fiscal impact, it's going to cost the city approximately $2.6 million for fiscal year 2024-2025. Here's how to get bulky items picked up from in front of your house. This is the list of things you can put into that pile of bulky stuff in front of your house. This is the list of stuff you cannot put into that pile of bulky stuff to be picked up by the bulky pickup program. Notice that computers and printers and copiers and scanners and televisions and things are part of a totally different collection program. Now we'll take a quick look at slides from the Public Works update. I dropped in that little scene on the left because sometimes I have the attention span of a gnat and get bored easily. That being said, freshening up the red curbsides. getting rid of the leftover gunk at the wastewater treatment plant, whacking back trees in advance of an incoming storm, more whack back trees. We'll see how they leaf out later this spring, I guess. Cleaning up a storm drain lift station. If the lift doesn't work right, houses can end up getting flooded. More making sure the lift station lifts what it's supposed to lift and moves the water where it's supposed to go. Storm drain basins, water catchers during the wet season, recreational areas during the drier parts of the year. Yep, we did get a little bit of water here. I guess it could have been worse. Planting trees, because trees are good things to have in a park. There will be an update on what the city is doing about the recent spate of graffiti around town. The one-year capital improvements list. Big things that cost a lot of money that need to be built, bought, or completed. There will be time for questions. Since we're a little more than halfway through the fiscal year, it's time to take a look at the budget and see how well things are going. Or not. The current fiscal year began on July 1st, 2023. The Council adopted the budget on June 6, 2023, and the fiscal year will end on June 30th, 2024. This section is about general economic update, inflation, long-term interest rates, potential government shutdown, geopolitical factors, and population growth slowing. The U.S. budget trajectory is unsustainable. You think? Household spending, sales tax numbers, property values and property taxes, foster farms, the median sales price for a single-family home. Yikes! How much the general fund is receiving in taxes, development projects in process, business licenses, general fund spending, gas tax, Measure V, enterprise funds, and property taxes. There's a list of capital improvement projects, several of which will go out to bid shortly. However, there may not be enough staff to properly keep track of these projects and make sure they keep moving along in a timely manner. Here's a list of those projects. On the left, how much was expected to be spent. On the right, how much has been spent so far. Under revenue adjustments, the city is now expecting to receive $192,000 more in taxes and reimbursements than originally planned. Under expenditure adjustments, personnel change in the police department in the general fund. The police department is going to have an additional full-time employee due to resolution of a personnel matter. If you know, you know. Increases in engineering services, small tools and safety equipment, facility operations and maintenance, and equipment operations and maintenance. Non-general fund list of additional items to be added: generator rentals, pump rentals, unexpected pump replacements, well equipment failures, water main repairs, road and sidewalk repairs, just to name a few. With one of the big ones being a $300,000 increase in the solid waste contract with Gilton. There's a few funds with a significant amount of money just sitting there, just waiting to be used for something useful. $2 million here, $1,200,000 there. Staff is thinking, hey, maybe there's a few things that we can upgrade, like park restrooms and playgrounds and park lighting and landscape improvements and graffiti removal and other things of that nature. There's a lot of landscape renovations being planned, as well as a bunch of rehabilitation work to be done on local roads. The city expects to spend $25,000 more than planned out of the general fund, but expects to receive $192,000 more than originally planned. Taking a look at Exhibit A, Mid-Year Budget Review, the red arrow is pointing to the column for what the city expected to spend when it initially adopted the budget. Now it's pointing to the column for how much those numbers are expected to go up. And here's the reason why. Focusing on the reason why, broken stuff, crappy stuff, and paying the engineers more to complete a Measure V regional application. signals, stop signs, road repairs, and their potential sidewalk at Max Foster Park. Increases in operations and maintenance, increases in consultants' fees, and increases in the solid waste contract with Gilton. Now, about those increases in general fund revenue, we see property transfer tax increases and some reimbursements. One of them, a really big one, is reimbursement for the Caldor fire of 2021. I'm just wondering, if this reimbursement is for equipment and personnel helping out with the Caldor fire, shouldn't that money go directly into a fire department fund instead of just being lumped in with other general fund money? If you like what I do here, please follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remember, editorial content is my own as a long-term resident of Livingston and does not represent the views and opinions of the City Council or the City of Livingston itself, and does not hold itself out to be any kind of legal advice.